The whole world can hear that you love and acknowledge your tribal chief. And now the whole world understands that you would never betray your tribal chief. But not everybody's like you. Some people would betray me. Sacramento, you got any guesses on who that might be? Wise man, how could you betray me?
Get ready! Bullshit, get ready! Get ready for the worst raw review on the internet! The worst raw review on the internet! Straws, raw! And fresh roast beef. This is straws raw. Straws raw.
Hello, friends, listeners, and newcomers. It's me, Eric B. They call me the Raw Dog. And you're here on the huge pop sports entertainment hub, listening to the STRAWS Raw review, the absolute worst Raw review, or best, depending on where you search on the internet. Folks, thanks for joining us for this wonderful pre-WrestleMania show as we're enjoying WrestleMania weekend. I do say we, because I'm here with my pal, my puppy in crime, my buddy, my old friend. It's Randy C. Randy, say hi to the fine folks in Huge Pop Radio Land.
Hi to the fine folks in the hub, the sports entertainment network, Huge Pop Radio Land. How does Moses make his coffee? He brews it. Hey, Eric B. Hey, everybody. It's me, Randy C. And as usual, we are powered by something. Powered by Huge Pop Radio with Donnie DeSilva and Jimmy Caderas. Join them each and every week as they talk about the news, rumors, an interview here or two, and what's going on, the pops and flops of the wrestling of the week. That's every Wednesday night on TSN 690 and all your podcasting platforms. Interview this week. What does everybody want? No, it's not Charlotte Flair in the DMs. It's Mr. Al Snow. Al Snow will be joining Donnie and Jimmy this week. We're also powered by the Dynamite Drop with Sean Burkhead and Ashley. The week's AEW Dynamite recap. Join Sean and Ashley every Friday and they'll run down that. Take a listen. It's pretty good. They watch it so you don't have to. The Smack Daddies. Brad the Dad and Father Greg Feltham leading in the WWE SmackDown review for this week. Sorry, tongue-tied here. But sorry about that, Brad. Sorry about that, Greg. The Smack Daddies, your weekly SmackDown review. Join Brad the Dad and Father Greg Feltham as they run down each week's and give them what they like about it, or as I say, what Greg likes to say, what they didn't like about this week's WWE SmackDown product. That's the Smack Daddies. And we can't forget Story Time with Jimmy every Sunday. Jimmy gives you a short little brief story time from previous experiences, from before, everything else in his WWE elaborate referee career. A story time with Jimmy. And as usual, we are powered by interiorplants.ca. Want your home or office more beautiful? Go to interiorplants.ca, where the doctor of Planomics will help you out. That's interiorplants.ca. The Canadian Brew House. Mississauga location now open. Please sponsor, Dad. Here.
The Canadian Brewhouse All-Stars have come to play. Here's a food and drink lineup so full of excitement, it's terrifically tantalizing. Wings on the left side, pizza on the right, burgers and fries fighting hard in the corners for scrumptious supremacy. Oh, looks like we have a penalty upcoming for double dipping. Wait, no, he fakes. Oh, what a move. Sensational from start to finish. So buckle in and belly up, because we got one heck of an all-star experience at the Canadian Brewhouse.
The TDS Wrestling Show. Join Sam, Tezzy, Darren, if he shows up, every week, where they give you the week's WWE rundown of the product. Go to youtube.com/the TDS Wrestling Show and join them every single week. Great show, great people, great friends. And last but not least, the handshaking team with my buddy here, Eric Blondon. I won a raffle last week. Yes, I did. I won a CM Punk Elite. What is Eric giving away this week? Or I shouldn't say giving away. I should raffling up. Oh no. Why didn't you tell me about this? He is holding up a Rocky series. Like, that's all the movies, isn't it, too? Holy crow. Box set. You want your chance to win this? Go to the handshaking team. That's facebook.com/the handshaking team. And yeah, you'll have your chance to win. And Cheap Heats, Wheels of Misfortune, and many other things. That's the handshaking team. Facebook.com/the handshaking team with my buddy Eric Blondon. And last but not least, I am powered by my buddy Eric Blondon, because without him, we would not have this show. And I love him very much, but not in the gay way. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And Chiquita Bananas, why Monroe?
Monkeys never collapse.
No, monkeys never cramp. I'm not cramping either. Eric B, my friend, my buddy, my pal, how you doing today?
I'm alive, Randy. I'm alive, and that's all that matters. No, I'm good. I'm okay.
Alive is good.
I slept, limitedly, but I am okay. I'm here and survived after an early morning with Randy downtown yesterday as we were scouring the streets for freshest of roast beefs and bananas. We know it's Mania week. We know that the fans are going to expect a lot from us. So with that being said, we have to have the locations, we have to have the amounts, we have to give people the insight, Randy, and that's what we're here to do on this show most of the time. But Randy, brother, more ultimately, how are you feeling? How are you doing?
Oh, you know what I will say? I think yesterday's job for my leg, to the most part, was very good. My leg feels like my other leg. I haven't felt that since I played baseball, to be honest with you. That's my leg, I'm saying, in my foot. My back, in other words. Oh, it is a different pain, but I will take a different pain than what's regular, so that means there is change. And if there's change in the air, like spring, that's a good thing coming.
Oh, that is a good thing coming. You know what comes along with spring as well, Randy? As a sports entertainment fan, it's Wrestle freaking Mania week.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's enjoying the week. Everyone's running around the streets. It's crazy. Traffic is insane everywhere. The stores are running out of Slim Jims, Monster energy drinks, and everyone is just stocking up with as much dill pickle popcorn as they possibly can for this weekend.
But before any further, I appreciate that. The dill pickle. I just wanted, as a father, I wanted to go through a father's story of what not to do in a
Okay. This is
recovery
a
room yesterday. Sorry, I apologize.
no. It's okay.
Maybe,
Well, this has to be. I thought that we were maybe saving this story, but the story now has to be told.
yeah, no, I have to tell it as a father because, well, everybody else knows in Toronto, anyways, right now, supposedly. But
As a
yeah,
father,
as a father, um, drugs are a very bad thing, and I've had many experiences. I love enjoying my surgeries in a hilarious way. I like to make doctors laugh. Never do I ever want to be embarrassed. Never am I really ever embarrassed, but there's always first. So yesterday was my very first. So since more or less everybody else on the hub, the Sports Entertainment Network knows about this, I thought I would just shout it out here. And Reese, do not do this, please. Do not do this, please, with anybody. Be very respectful. Eric B knows,
be respectful.
yeah, that's
There you go.
it's respectful. Yeah, that's good. Hey,
Yeah.
use that word this week. So I'm getting, and Eric knows this because he was wandering out back as it's happening. I'm getting wheeled into the recovery room. And if you guys know that recovery room, there's like a wall and there's normally like a lineup of people recovering and then the lineup of people going in. So the nurse, I'm getting wheeled out. I'm high as a kite. I am cloud 9. I don't even remember leaving realistically. I know I did embarrass Eric in some certain scenarios, and I do remember this because it really, really bothered me. So I'm away, getting wheeled to the wall. I'm looking by and I see like 5 people across from me, and you know how they have these little like blinders or whatever in between them. First wall was a gentleman. Second wall was a lady. Third one, I forget. But the wall beside me and in front of me was an older woman with her beloved husband across.
You don't
So
know how loved he was. He was
Yeah, I know.
never. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But in turn, the nurse is giving the people the IVs, and he was on the lovely lady in the second. I will say lady again. And as she's giving the intravenous, I guess she has a sweater on, and she's putting the needle into her arm, and she goes, "Would you like me to take my sweater off?" Where I reply, and this is where wrestling is in me. My wrestling chants come out. I'm yelling, "Take it off, take it off, take it off." With the whole recovery room or prep room in hilarity, except for one gentleman, and that is the old man with his loving wife right across from him. And then poor Eric has to walk right into that. So, yeah, it was pretty high leaving.
Oh, okay. So that recovery room is like just a room that is designed for pure comedy. That's the way it is. It is a recovery slash preparation room. The recovery portion is where the comedy comes out, and that's where the comedy came out yesterday. And due to Randy being so pilled up at that point with his good old fashioned pilly gimmick and extra, trust me, I saw folks, they charged him for extra drugs. So lots extra was in his system. He goes to me as I come to pick him up. Do you see that girl over there? And I was like, yeah, Randy. She's like, I don't know. That's like a girl. It's like that's a young lady. And Randy's like, oh God. And then as we're leaving the building afterwards, we're outside. Randy's finally enjoying his post-op smoke. And the guy comes out with his wife, and he's still like eyeballing Randy. He's so upset. I think that ruined that whole guy's day for literally no reason at all. And in Randy's head, he apologizes to the guy, but I know in Randy's head, he's like, "Come on, bro. I got kids too. Take it easy." It's just a joke. But the guy was like fuming. He was ready to start a WrestleMania feud because it's WrestleMania week, Randy. Is that a
Yeah.
good interlude now? Can I do
Yeah,
that
that's
now?
perfect. That's perfect.
Okay. Yes. All right. Yeah, it's WrestleMania week, folks. Lots of things are going on. Things are for sale all over the place. Holy moly, that John Cena farewell tour belt sold immediately. And also, friggin' LeBron James Barbie dropped at midnight on Monday morning, and I was able to secure one. But I know that anybody who waited for 1 minute even to buy did not get that LeBron James Barbie. So here I am, 2025, Eric Blondon, proud new owner of a Barbie.
Make sure you listen to the end of the show where I have a great outro.
Wrestlemania. Anyways, yeah, guys, lots of things going on. Things are happening, and Wrestlemania is in the good old town of Sin City, Las Vegas, folks. Randy, have you ever been to Sin City before?
No. No, I
No,
actually
you haven't
have
been to
not.
Sin City. Okay.
No, I haven't. Have
But yes, I have. I've been there twice, once as a child, so I didn't get to enjoy the sin portion of said city. And then as an adult, I actually went there for the other brand's Vegas themed pay-per-view. We'll just call it generically about, well, I don't know, it was like 3, 4 years ago now. Times have changed so much, man. Times have changed so much. But I was there, and I was in Vegas. And you know what Vegas is filled with, Randy?
Cosplay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And those girls that attack you on the street for pictures and then they ask you for $200 afterwards. It's filled with that. But it's also filled with casinos. Ooh, casinos. Randy, are you a risk taker? Do you like to bet at a casino sometimes?
Oh, yes. I'm a very participante of the casino way in Ontario way. Yes, I like
In Ontario.
Yeah.
Ontario casinos have a certain twang to them always, I find. They have a certain nuance to them that you just don't find at other casinos. But the thing that you'll
stomp.
Yeah. The thing that you will find at all casinos, besides the quote unquote patrons that will come up to you at 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning, you will always find a lot of gambling. You always find some blackjack tables, and I just got to go to my Vegas blackjack gambling story. I went with a friend at the time. No longer said friend. Curse you, sir. No, I'm just joking. You just lose touch with people sometimes. But I went with a friend at the time. And I'll start with the blackjack story because this is when things started to go really downhill. I'll tell you that. I was there for a week for the Vegas Double or Nothing extravaganza. So I was there in Vegas for far too long. And during that week, there was one night where we had stayed up all night long. We went to go gamble at the casino, and me and 2 other friends, we decided, let's sit down and let's play some blackjack. So I'm just going to say right now, I am an absolute novice table gambler. I have done very well with sports betting before, and sports betting is definitely my thing. I like sports books because I like sports. So it kind of goes hand in hand. But table gambling, I don't really get. So apparently it's a big deal in blackjack to sit at the end of the table. It's a position that's called the anchor. And apparently what the anchor does really determines what happens for the rest of said table. So me being a novice, why the hell would you sit me there? That's the first issue. So he sits me there. And there was one point where I take like a ridiculous risk, Randy. I'm telling you, I got like 16 or I got like a 17 and I'm like, hit me. And I get 4 and it goes to 21. But apparently if I passed on that, the dealer would have busted and everybody would have won.
That's right.
The problem with that is that my friend was the only one that lost. So nobody else cared besides him. He got up. He made a stink about the whole story that I just explained. So Reese, if you ever go gambling and you go to play blackjack, just sit in the middle, bud. Sit in the middle. It's just the place to be. That's where you can play your game. But the dealer, I remember just being like, what did I do wrong? And the dealer was just like this southern twang to her voice, definitely not from Las Vegas. She was just like, play your game, sweetheart. Play your game.
They're not, well, they do, but they're not allowed to really say that much to you anyways.
No,
But,
she noticed that my buddy just got mad out of nowhere and stormed off. That was like one of 3 stormed off occasions. Let me do the other one, and then you can tell me whatever Vegas story or gambling story you need to tell me. So 2 days later, there is this pool party that we've been planning to go to. It was one of like the big things going on during the time. It wasn't like an AEW pool party or anything, but it was a big pool party. And if you've ever been to pool parties in Las Vegas, I'll tell you, don't bring a backpack with like any of your stuff because you're not allowed to bring anything in. And I learned that the hard way by having to go back to the hotel an hour and a half because everything in Vegas looks like it's very close, but it's very, very far. So I had to go back an hour and a half to the hotel, come back, finally get into the pool party. I look at my buddy. I'm chilling by the pool. I am literally Randy. I've got like four grapefruit and tequilas in me at that point. I'm getting served by the lovely attendants, sorry, the lovely staff members there of the hotel. And I turned to my friend who's wearing like a sweater still and pants. And I'm like, are you going to change, man? And he goes, oh, no, I'm going to go in. I think we can go gamble for a bit. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So I'm in my zone. I'm doing my thing. I just end up chilling there by the pool. Um, 30 minutes later, the guy comes back and he's got like the look of death on his face. And he sits down and he's just silent. I was like, what's up? He's like, I just went to the high roller room. And I was like, oh. He's like, yeah, I lost $5,000 in 5 minutes. I was like, great.
Yep.
So, my friends, another lesson in life. If you are down, down, down gambling, don't try to get yourself back up by gambling more money. It just doesn't work that way. So, Reese, that's your lesson about gambling for the day.
Well,
But yes, and everybody else's story. Randy, what about you? What's your story about gambling?
Well, first of all, just going to give a caption to yours. There's a reason why they say the house always wins. The other thing is, too, if you want to ever learn about blackjack, Eric, and I have had very good luck with blackjack. There's a book, it's under 100 pages. It's called The Basic Strategy of Blackjack, and it'll definitely help you out. It teaches about what they call a 7-float hand. So you just make sure you put 7-float pocket. Sorry, I apologize. And you literally put enough for 7 floats in your pocket, and if you lose it, you're done. If you win,
I like that.
and then you just go back and forth. So if you win one, you put it in your right pocket. But you get your float always back up to the float. But this is not a blackjack story. In turn, this is a Caribbean poker story. And I don't know if anybody knows what Caribbean poker is or ever played it before. It is their biggest. Oh, what are you laughing about? But they have what they call a rolling jackpot. So higher hands, like a Royal Flush, has like a rolling jackpot on it, and it can get into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, just because it's not hit as often, so on and so forth. And you have your.
This is a real thing?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
I thought you were going to like drop some line about how the jackpot is jerk pork or something like that because, you know, here we are talking about stories of, you know, recovery rooms and everything like that. But yeah, please go ahead. Sorry. I cut you off. My apologies.
So, again, it's the way you have to get cards in order to make the best hand. And in turn, if you get a Royal Flush, you can win this rollover jackpot, right? Or a jackpot, continuous jackpot that goes on.
Okay.
So I'm out for a bachelor party, and there's 3 of us. And it's myself, the groom, and this other gentleman. I'm not going to use any names just in case, because I know the one gentleman that I don't like is a wrestling fan. So there is probably a good opportunity he's listening to this. So if you are, oh, well, it's joke's on you, buddy, but you already knew this happened. So almost in a similar scenario, what you just said with your blackjack about sitting at certain spots. So we sit at this table. And myself, I'm sitting this guy's already sitting at the table, and he's been like playing for a while. And when I say he's been playing for a while, he has a large sum of bets that he's betting out. The minimum on the table was $10. You can have like add-ons to it. There's like little side pockets where you can add stuff to it, so on and so forth, to get like pairs and all this junk. It's long story short. But he was betting really, really high. So the guy that we won't mention his name, he was sitting on the left-hand side of him. And then the groom was sitting on the right, I believe. I have to remember. But So as we were playing, and like I said, this guy was getting really upset with not to be named Kevin. So
That's
for
hilarious.
stealing, what's that? But for stealing his cards. So he goes to me. He's like, he's getting mad, he's getting angry, and he's like, blah, blah, blah. So we start playing this one hand. Eric, I poop you not. This guy goes white. He's sweating. And he goes, all of a sudden, I go, you all right? You all right? And he goes, if your buddy steals my card, I'm going to kill him. Like, no shit. So I'm like, Kevin, I'll give you the $10, whatever. Don't do nothing. So he stands. Next card comes over, and I remember this. It was a Jack of Hearts. The guy just all of a sudden, like the sweat stopped, everything else, and the biggest smile came off his face. Puts down his hand. He has a royal flush. The lights go off. The security comes. Like the pit boss puts everything up. You've seen the casinos and everything goes like this and that. So security comes. Everybody at the table stands. They count all the money at the stand. Like, you know what I mean? Just to make sure everything's validated.
Oh,
security, yeah. The security guard takes this guy off, and we don't see him. So we continue playing for about 10 to 15 minutes. Security comes back out. And we're like, okay, cool. And he's looking at us. And he looking us forward. And he goes, okay, are you the groom? And my other buddy's like, yeah. Oh, here you go. It's $500. And he looks at me. He goes, oh yeah, that he described you. Here's $500. And then the not so named Kevin is like sitting there, and he looks at him. The security guard goes, yeah, he told me about you. There's nothing for you. So we were happier than a pig in a feast. But yeah, Kevin got the not so named Kevin got nothing that day. So that's one of the
Oh
things.
man,
Sorry
we
about
both have
Wingstop.
stories. We both have stories about not named Kevins. That is
Yeah.
friggin' hilarious.
Is that his name too? Your buddy's name?
Not his name. Not
Oh,
his name.
okay.
No,
Not his
no,
name?
but
No, not his name?
It's maybe not. But yeah, that's so
That-
funny to think that was. Oh
Did the not so named Kevin have a not so name rhyming with Messi?
no,
Okay,
it's a different
okay.
one. It's a different one. Anyways, my
that's
God.
funny.
My God, to even try to risk stealing somebody's card at a casino is insane, first of all. Second of all, yeah, every cash denomination, like anytime that you cash in for chips now, there has to be another attendant there validating the funds, giving it to you, and then giving your chips. I always do minimum bets, but the people who you see doing the maximum bets are the people who you see sweating and shaking and sitting there. This happened to me too. There was a guy sweating and sitting and shaking at the end of the blackjack table for 30 minutes who didn't play another hand. And I was like, buddy, are you okay? Like literally after 25 minutes, I was like, buddy, are you okay? And he goes, I just lost my mortgage for the next 3 months. And I was like,
He's not
I
okay.
didn't respond. Anyways, folks, yes, that's the story. Vegas can be fun. It can be fun, but my God, if you go there for a week, you're crazy. I was absolutely insane. And the people who live there, just kudos to you to be able to breathe and survive in that climate. My God, Randy, I was hoarse voiced and completely winded, like completely drawn out and dead by the end of a week. I was like, how do people live in this? But yes, it can be fun. Yes. You know what else can be fun, You know what? You know what else can be fun, Randy?
I know. WWE RAW from Sacramento, California, at the ever and greatest, one of the greatest revenue. You just finish it. Poop.
What the hell, man? Okay, here we are today, folks. We're a bit of a mess, but we're still here, just like WWE is still here from the Golden One Center in Sacramento, California, the home of the Sacramento Kings. Light the beam, and the beam will be lit. I'm predicting it right now. The beam will be lit at Wrestlemania for Jey Uso. Randy, do you even know what I'm talking about when I'm saying light the beam?
Yeah, that's
Probably,
like the King's like chant, like take it
yeah.
off. It's like light the beam. I get it, right?
So
Am I
what
right?
happens? Yes,
Yeah, see, I told you.
If the Kings win the game, they light the beam, and it's this beam of light that blasts up to the sky, and it seems so ridiculous, but it's one of those viral things like we see in wrestling sometimes, which is so ridiculous, but just gets over like mad, and lighting the beam has got over like mad, just like Jey Uso has gotten over like mad as we see him walking down some steps on the way here to WWE Raw. Lots of walking introductions I find recently, Randy. We see like half of the cast walking into the arena tonight. Yeah. If you think
Yeah,
like that's a new, is that a new thing for Netflix? I feel like that's kind of a new thing that makes it like more of a sports, let's see all the superstars
yeah.
arrive thing. Usually we just focus on like the two main guys or whatever main feud is going on at the time.
Maybe Netflix took out of the budget of the golf cart or the smashing of cars. So yeah, no, you're right. You have to walk and earn their money. Earn their money. Now they're even walking from the stands. And geez, I at least get a free pass on the floor to the disabled bathrooms. These guys are walking from the 300s. They're earning their cash.
Yes, and I take advantage of Randy's said disabled pass, and I bump into Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton while doing so. Thank you, Randy. Thank you for
I'm just a
Randy
giver.
and his and his canes, Randy and his canes. All right, Gunther is here, folks, and the crowd's gonna boo the beloved bejesus out of him because he was drenched in a man's blood. And listen, he knows that everybody thinks that he took it too far, but honestly, he didn't take it far enough. He's never lost control. He has control of all of this, and Jay is full of poop. We're saying poop a lot today. There's a lot of
So,
poop conversations going on. Are we sure Vince isn't back?
yeah.
Anyways, all right. So that's it. Yeah, he's there. He's talking. He's wearing his gear that makes him look a little scared again. He's just in plain man's clothes. He doesn't have any gel in his hair, but he's there and he's Gunther and he's ready for WrestleMania. Will he do the same thing to Jey Uso? Will he be drenched in the blood of the Uso family as WrestleMania goes off? Listen, I was talking to some friends last night, and a lot of people are playing that role that they still want to see Gunther just completely squash Jey Uso. Randy, the chances of that happening are literally 100 to 1, if not higher odds. What do you think at this point, buddy?
I totally agree with you. There is no way that Gunther is squashing Jey Uso. If anything, I honestly think we might have a Crimson Mask moment in this match. And for some reason, I don't know if it's going to be Jay's face that's going to be this way, but for some reason, I think it might be Gunther's. And talking about the hair gel, you made me pop when you said it last night to me on the phone as well. But yeah, I think it'll be Gunther's. And yeah, he keeps, during this promo, what was it? What did he say exactly? Jey Uso, what was it? Screw Jey Uso. Yes, that was it. I apologize. Kept saying that. He looked very disheveled. He looked less confident. He looked concerned. A position that we haven't seen Gunther in a bit.
Yep, telling everybody to screw off. But yeah, he also said he was going to call Jay's mother afterwards and tell him how much of a treat it was to also beat up her other son. That's just mean. That's just mean, Gunther and heelish. Listen, that just makes Gunther the great heel that he is. We get a video package next here with Bianca Belair discussing her road to WrestleMania. I think personally that WWE is making just a fatal flaw by not having something happen with Naomi and Jade that involves Bianca in the match. And I feel like the match for the championship should have happened probably before Jade and Bianca. Maybe that's just, sorry, Jade and Naomi. Maybe that's just a personal opinion, though. What do you think, Randy?
Sort of agree with you. Actually, with Naomi, her character on SmackDown as of late is incredible. It's
Far
absolutely
better.
incredible, way better. If you want to know more about Naomi's character and everything else, listen to the Smack Daddies every Saturday morning here on the Hub Sports Entertainment Network. But in turn, back to Bianca. She seemed lackluster. Like, her character right now seems lackluster of the three, of formerly of them being together. And even the build for her as going into WrestleMania has probably been the most lackluster going into WrestleMania. And yeah, don't get me wrong, this promo video and everything is good. But in turn, I don't know. We're going to have a prediction show later this week, me and Eric B, on the Sunday night's main event prediction show. But listen for our predictions here. But I think they're going to go a certain way. And I don't know. It's just, but Bianca of everybody, I just haven't been intrigued or entangled in. So
Yeah, I mean, good point. Naomi heel, would she be a stronger candidate to be in that role? No, not necessarily. But I feel like that storyline there between Jade, Bianca, and Naomi had a lot more fire to it than throwing Bianca into this Mania match. Can she do it? Can she carry herself in the match? Absolutely. She's carried two WrestleMania main events very, very well. With that being said, sorry, go ahead.
I still believe that Bianca has something to do with the Jade thing. Like, I think Naomi's like the Jim the Anvil Neidhart type of this situation. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry, I didn't go ahead.
No, it's okay. I mean, I would like that to happen too. I just don't know if that's where we're going to go because, like you said, Bianca's kind of been an afterthought in this feud or even in this position of holding the championship again. And I felt that way too at Elimination Chamber with the women's match. I felt like people really didn't want her to win. And everybody, actually, maybe not everybody, but I was standing there questioning when she won. Just completely questionable as everybody popped, cheered in excitement. I was like, why are we so excited about this? I feel like there's still something happening here with Jade Cargill. And I wanted Jade Cargill. I said it before. I wanted Jade Cargill to somehow take Bianca Belair's spot. And I don't think it would have been too soon for her because of how over she is and who she would have been in the ring with that would have helped carry her in that position. I think we need a switching the guards, ultimately. And the women's division has so much talent where that switching of the guard is going to be happening in the next 2 to 3 years anyways. Like, that's going to happen heavily. A lot of these talents that we see on the screen right now are going to be ridden off screen by the ladies of NXT.
100%.
Speaking about former ladies of NXT, how about a match here with Bayley, who is with Lyra Valkyria? These are two former NXT ladies. Did Lyra Valkyria win the championship in NXT? I don't remember. No?
No.
Okay, she didn't. So Bayley did.
Yes, she did. Becky Lynch. You won off Becky Lynch, remember?
Oh, okay. Yes, you're correct. Lyra Valkyria versus Little Liv Morgan. Anyways, Bayley versus Liv Morgan here in the match, the first match of the evening, and probably the best match in the evening, as Randy is clipping his nails in the background.
No, I'm not actually, but that's what it sounds. That's why I stopped because it sounds like that. It's my chair. I was moving my chair back.
Randy is either clipping his nails or smacking children in the background at a wonderful pace, just an absolutely wonderful pace. Anyways, no worries, buddy. This match is another one of those matches. We're leading into Mania here with the match that we're going to have between these ladies. But this was one of those matches, again, that as I have Bayley coming to the ring with Lyra Valkyria and them trying to push over Lyra as kind of being the more over, or soaring to be the more over champion here with Bayley. It just doesn't make any sense to me, Randy. I don't get their pairing. I'm so confused, brother. I'm so confused about it. It just kind of thrown together last minute, and especially with such great opponents in Liv and Raquel. I just wish there was better for them. I wish there was better for those two women.
Well, if you listen to our prediction show coming up later this week, you'll hear my thoughts or the predictions on this. I honestly believe you'll do after you describe the match and who wins. I honestly think we're probably going to see a little more of Lyra and Bayley after WrestleMania going one-on-one with the Intercontinental Championship so that Bayley can get her Grand Slam title. But in turn, Yeah, I totally see what you're saying. I think it's just trying to get her over, and her woo woo, or whatever you want to call it again, over, because they definitely they definitely put that in hard tonight. It was
Man. Yeah, they are pumping in some audio for
Yeah.
sure. And there's a couple of times in the show, and I don't know if it's that fans are just so kind of droned out as we're going into Mania and they don't expect much out of the show. But it is a quiet night. It is a silent night for the audience, especially if we're coming from the last like couple of weeks being in Europe to this. It is some points you can hear a pin drop. It is just that quiet. Anyways, this match is happening. A little bit of an exhibition here, pre-Mania. Of course, Liv Morgan being as great as Liv Morgan is, she's Rob Arbig's favorite. We know that.
Yeah,
Right,
100%.
Randy?
100%.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely. But she's not going to get away easily here because she's in there in the ring with the hugger, Bayley, who's going to throw out a Lou Thez press at one point in the match, which I popped for, and I was like, Lou Thez! Woo! Rest in peace. No?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that happened. Anyways, Liv is as great as Liv is. The commentators are going off the whole time about it as well. Pat McAfee, Michael Cole are just going on and on about how Liv is just getting better every time that she's in the ring. It's not only that, Liv is one of the female talents and probably one of the only talents on the roster who is almost willing to do anything to her body, sacrifice her body for a spot. And we see that at one point in the match here when she throws this ridiculous drop kick and has just a horrible bump on her back when she jumps off of the apron onto the canvas. The drop kick looks nice to Bayley, but holy poop.
Yeah, no, you're right. And the suplex off the stairs, like onto the floor. There was a lot of floor action. A lot of, like, half this match, or no, probably about a good 30% of it was on outside the ring. But yeah, you're right. Liv Morgan, one of the most underrated superstars of the WWE, male or female. That's why I'm using the word superstars, because she's elevated incredibly over the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's funny. I was watching wrestling one time and my mom was there and she was watching as well and she was like, "Oh, I could see why you love this one." And I was like, "Mom, just like watch one of her matches as well. There's a reason, not only why is Liv Morgan, the way that she looks, but she's also like Randy said, one of the better workers in the company, willing to do absolutely anything for the spot, to get the spot over, get other people over as well. She does the job, man. She does the job, brother." But anyways, like Randy said, this match is spent mostly outside of the ring. A lot of Raquel and Lyra getting involved back and forth with each other until Lyra just can't take it anymore. She can't take it at all. But anyways, Liv goes for her Oblivion, but Lyra holds Bayley and prevents the move from happening. Bayley gets the roll up. Another roll up, Randy, your favorite, for a cleanish victory over Liv Morgan heading into WrestleMania.
Wow, yeah, another roll up. Don't get me wrong, like I said it last week, they must be listening to the show, and if you are, please sponsor us. Roll ups are a big thing right now, and don't get me wrong, a good roll up at a good time is perfectly fine. But yeah, Bayley with her first win in how long? But for a while, I can't remember her
against
last one.
Liv Morgan.
Against
she can't
Liv
beat
Morgan.
anybody else. She can't pin anybody else even.
With the help.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go. Sorry.
She can't pin Lyra Valkyria.
Nope.
She can't beat anybody else, not even by disqualification.
Nope.
And then former champion and current tag team champion heading into Mania gets pinned. So,
well, obviously that leads into what's happening into WrestleMania. Bayley winning tonight with Lyra, with the help with Lyra. Definitely, I honestly see Bayley turning as a WrestleMania. They're not winning the belts no matter what. But yeah, Bayley with the surprise win this evening. Oh, it's to our dismay, surprise win. But it makes sense going into WrestleMania. I will say one thing though, and we did talk a little about it during this thing. Liv Morgan, again, experience, whatever, like her improvement over the last couple of years has been astronomical. Yeah, she's great to look at, but I think it's time for her to fix her ring gear just a tad, tighten it up just a tad. I love looking at ladies, don't get me wrong, but yeah, fix it up, please. It's a tad. That's the only thing, the one thing about wrestling, right? Don't play with your gear, or don't let embarrassing things happen to you. I guess it's not embarrassing to her. Like, this is no take it off, take it off. You heard me in the recovery room. This is not that scenario. But yeah, just tighten up a little. Like, I don't like people that adjust their gear, and I don't like gear wardrobe malfunctions during a wrestling match, because that's the pro in pro wrestling. It's everything.
But that's gonna bring in a lot of, your non-wrestling fans, and then maybe they watch the product afterwards, and maybe they think, wow, this is really good, and these women can actually wrestle. And maybe people who have fallen out of love with the product see people like Liv Morgan doing her thing, teasing the audience, using what she has to her advantage, and then they watch her wrestle and they're like, man, these women can really wrestle in comparison to what I used to watch in, the Attitude Era. They can really go. They can actually go.
100%.
And they can actually go. So anyways, Randy doesn't like wardrobe malfunctions, but he wants them to take it off. That's the way it's going to go. That's the way it is. And that's all that's happening, folks. That being said, moving forward, we see a video package and all the happenings between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Also Paul Heyman being there as well. Randy, there's just so much going on in this storyline, and there's so many favors being doled out. At this point, let's just call this match Paul Heyman's Favor Mania.
Yeah, that's good. Favor Mania.
Now, we'll hit on it more because it's going to be the way that we close the show today on WWE RAW. We're not going to bury ourselves with the content right now. Rhea Ripley is here, and she can see right through Bianca Belair. Is she the only one? Like, honestly, at this point, I feel like I'm going crazy that people are still trying to push Bianca as, like, somewhat of a baby face here in this feud. She just has to turn, man. Talking about people who have to turn and probably should have done it before WrestleMania, I feel like Bianca should have done some type of deadly turn here beforehand.
There has to be a payoff. There has to be a reason. I agree with you, though.
Yeah, I just hope it's not her holding the title after WrestleMania. That's that's what I hope. And who knows? I've said all the stuff that I've said about Jade and Naomi. Maybe they're involved themselves in that match somehow too. Right? It could always happen. Speaking about things that I didn't have on my betting card for 2025, it's Rey Mysterio versus Apollo Creed. No, folks, I'm sorry. It's Julius Creed. It's just Julius Creed. He's here, and he's there with American Made, with Chad Gable as well, may I say. Randy, I am so happy to see Chad back and healthy, doing his thing. He finally got clearance from that doctor. Good for him, man.
Amazing what antibiotics and working out and being just an amazing athlete like he is can do for you.
Drinking lots of OJ, having a lot of chicken noodle soup, enjoying some chicken nudes.
That's it.
Yeah, chicken
and some Wingstop, also sponsored by WrestleMania 41. Wingstop, please sponsor us there, Wingstop, because I love wings.
And Chad Gable presents Great American Beer. Have you seen those cutouts? Pretty cool. I wouldn't mind one of them.
I did not see that.
Yep, Chad Gable is on new cutouts with Great American Beer, WWE's.
No.
It's the truth. It's the truth. This is what's going on. Just like we now know, we can actually see, like, look, lots of truth is coming out of this match tonight. Let's just say that as fast as we possibly can. But the crowd is hungry for some 619s. They're ready for some 619s, Randy. It's going to take a little while for them to get to it because we have to watch Julius Creed and Rey Mysterio run and fly around the ring, and Creed being a wrestler, and yeah, Chad Gable's there, and Brutus Creed is there too, and Ivy Nile, and all the rest of LWO. Yeah. Anyways, this match is what it is. I don't know what to say. What else am I supposed to say here? The match is a little slow moving, especially when you have Rey as a luchador. You can still see that Julius is unpolished, but they have to have something in this spot leading up to Mania. Randy, do you think that this match would have had the same impact if it wasn't Rey Mysterio first and it was maybe, let's say, like, Walking Wild is very over right now as far as a viral wrestler goes. The move that he did on last week's WWE Raw has put him over virally. He's like a sensation right now, and he made a whole post about it and about how he heard his father's voice before the match on a video cassette recording, and he never heard his dad's voice before because he never knew his dad, all of this different stuff. Why not give Joaquin Wild this shot instead?
Because it's a week before WrestleMania. And this is a warm-up match going into WrestleMania. And unfortunately, Joaquin is not going to sell a tenth of a tenth, on as talented as he is, a tenth of a tenth of merch that Rey Mysterio will sell in the first half hour in Vegas.
Oh,
so,
God.
And you have to warm up. Remember, he is older. He has to warm up a little. He got to make those 49, age 49 joints in his body a little limber, right, for his match coming up against Mr. Americano.
Yeah.
Grande Americano. So, yeah, it's just a lead-in. He already has to win somewhere, right? Like, might as well be the lead into WrestleMania. But I agree with you. I agree with you, Eric. 100% agree with you. I'm not putting him down in any way. But remember, it's a business and everything is money.
No, of course it is. And then we talk about spots just being there just for being a spot. And there is a spot in the match where Rey Mysterio does a baseball slide and he's caught, quote unquote, by Julius Creed, dropped to the floor while doing so. Then picked up, in a suplex position, and then walked up the stairs. And then dropped, just put down lightly on the apron afterwards. It was one of those spots that's like, okay, wow, it's a power spot. It's supposed to be overwhelming. It's supposed to leave you in awe. We've seen Lash Legend do this spot much better than this, Randy. So it was one of those things that really slowed down the match for me, like almost brought it to a complete dragging halt. And then we see the LWO members and American Made get involved so much that they all get thrown out. And that includes Chad Gable. But later on in the match, here comes Chad Gable's buddy, El Grande Americano. So, folks, they're on the same episode. Different gear, different outfits. It can't be Chad Gable.
It's not.
It can't be. It's not. It's not. But you know what whoever it is going to have in his mask?
What's that?
A tiny metal plate, which is the size of if you take one of those pennies and put it in a machine at the old time whiskey shop and roll it through a billion times. You got to crush the little penny. He's got that in his head. And with that there in his head is a weapon of mass destruction. I gotta say, I do love the running, jumping, flying headbutt. I am definitely a fan of that. Keep that as much as possible. It's great. This whole gimmick is just super fun for me, and it's super fun for the fans. It's just going to be really a nice little comedy break spot and a long night one of WrestleMania. Anyways, Rey Mysterio wins this match before that. I forgot to throw that in there. Rey Mysterio wins, of course. 619 drops a dime. 3-2-1. Rey Mysterio time. Randy, go ahead.
Well, when I was a child, we did not go into old-time whiskey shops to flatten a penny. I did it much cheaper. I just put it on a railway track. But, and join us for the new show starting up on the Hub, the Sports Entertainment Network, where Father Greg, and it's he, Eric B., comes off with a new show. You know what really grinds my gears? That's Father Greg and it's he, Eric B., where they just sit there and complain about everything for a good hour. But I enjoyed this much more than you did, Eric. I guess I see your. It was what it was, but we got to see him. See, you perked up when you got El Gigante Americano came out, and I'm using it that way. But yes. You did cheer up when you seen him. So was it really that bad? Now, really? No, it wasn't.
No,
He was-
the match wasn't great. But the storyline involving the match as we're leading into Mania, it's fun. And that's what it's going to be, and that's what it should be, and it shouldn't be taken so seriously. And Randy just makes the best point ever. Um, that Rey Mysterio mask is selling out to like a million kids as soon as they get to WrestleMania. As soon as they get to Vegas, they are buying Rey Mysterio masks, Rey Mysterio merch, 619 armbands, everything, and for good reason. I'm not putting her down Rey Mysterio at all in this statement. I just think it was a little bit weird. But Randy made an even better point about how the guys got to stay warm, stay limber, warm up. We don't have house shows anymore to do so, so we got to stay a little limber with some WrestleMania Raw, pre-WrestleMania Raw. My apologies. All right, Randy is super excited as the War Raiders are here to talk about Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston and how they tried to take out Eric's neck. They tried to take him out forever. They tried to end his life. I was like, okay, cool. Man, I don't know, dude. I can see what like when they originally launched the War Raiders back. I was so excited about it, and now I'm just like watching these two guys that look like dads on the weekend in their biker club, not gang, biker club, who will go on like little drives and maybe stop for some ice cream along the way. What do you think?
What kind of
What
ice
really
cream would
grinds
they
your
stop
gears
to?
about this?
What kind of ice cream do you think they would stop? Or would it be a little Rocky Road? Would it
Oh,
be
it's
a
Rocky
little,
Road 100%.
or cotton candy? Or
Fruity, tutti frutti.
tutti free? I can tell you one thing. With their biker garb, at least they wouldn't be by Barbie dolls in the middle of the night. But in turn, I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. And I am looking, you know what, as much as we're harping on this match, I think this tag team match at WrestleMania will be probably one of the better matches of the weekend. So it'll be like at least in the above 75%. Like definitely one of the better matches this weekend. So the Biker Mice from Mars versus the Enemy.
The new New Day.
The New Day, yeah.
The new Day. Well, if anything, it's good to see the New Day back at WrestleMania, back in a position for, possibly getting the tag team championships. It feels like that wasn't even in the cards for years and years. So now with this heel turn and push they are getting, it's definitely there. It is definitely there. Anyways, next match of the night here is AJ Styles with Karrion Kross, who vows to put an end to AJ Styles before WrestleMania. Karrion Kross is wearing new gear, and he also has Fall and Pray back as his entrance and his music, and it's black and white, and we got Scarlett singing. As soon as I saw this, I was like, maybe they're trying to give Kross a push post-Mania. I know tonight he's losing. Has to lose tonight. Has to.
100%.
But what did you think, Randy, as soon as you saw the entrance? It made me a little nostalgically excited. I'm not going to lie.
I wasn't as excited as much as you were. We definitely enjoyed two different things on the show tonight, me and you, Eric B. But
We were both on different drugs.
I guess. I definitely like seeing them backstage talking. You know what I mean? I don't know. I miss Karrion Kross, but I didn't want to see him this week yet.
I miss Killer Kross. That's what I
Kross,
miss.
yeah.
I miss Killer Kross.
Killer Kross.
And I feel like if they leaned into a refined Killer Kross a little bit more, and again, he's one of those guys that works very stiff. So he is one of those guys that works better in these squash-esque matches. In comparison to tonight's match, where there's no way he's going to squash AJ Styles, as Styles is leading into Mania with this match here with Logan Paul, the Maverick himself, who always stays humble, may I add. He's just so humble. Talking about songs we want back, man. Can we just bring back Maverick for Mania? and have Logan Paul do the Shawn Michaels entrance again, please? Please. Like, it just needs to happen. Anyways, like Randy mentioned, Karrion Kross is definitely being presented a little bit better as he comes up to the ring. The announcers as well are saying like they're seeing a difference in him and how good he looks and his gear and his entrance and everything like that. But there's still some tripping going on here in this match.
Couple.
A little bit of trips, a little bit of stops. Randy pointed out as we started recording that AJ Styles at one point did tell Cross that he has to listen to him. I saw a hilarious meme this morning too, which was like for people who watch Raw on TV in comparison to being there live. And being there live for the first time, you're like, wait a minute, no announcers? Wait a minute, why are they calling spots?
Yeah.
Right? All of these things kind of happen. If you're a little bit too close to the ring, you hear these things. And some people are just better about it than others. But yeah, no, I like the way that Cross is being presented here as far as his appearance goes. Randy makes a good point of where he is with the wrestling itself. And that's why Styles is still going to get the win here. Clean, phenomenal forearm. 1, 2, 3. He has to win coming into Mania. It has to happen. But here comes good old Logan Paul on his way to the ring to talk some jive. Talking jive, Randy. Did you ever use the term talking jive when you were growing up
Hand
in the
jive,
1940s?
Yeah, 100%. Hand jive.
Okay.
You ever heard hand jiving?
Oh, I've never heard of hand jive.
There's a song for it. Look it up.
All right, I will definitely post the link in the comment section.
Okay.
Post the link in the comment section. But yeah, Cross goes for the attack after this. Logan Paul has taken some shots at Sacramento, the lesser of the California states. Sorry about that if you're from Sacramento and you're currently listening.
The beam.
Anyways, light the beam. Light the beam. Just like Logan Paul does as he hits his beautiful pulverizer. Randy, I don't know if there's a cleaner looking finish in wrestling right now. That's a nice looking finisher. What do you think?
Question again? What did you say?
I said that Logan Paul hits his pulverizer, which is maybe one of the cleanest looking moves in pro wrestling right now.
Sorry, I thought you said AJ Styles. I apologize. Yeah, no, it looks good. It's definitely better. Like I like his frog splash too, so I don't know. It's good. Okay.
No, it's good. I like it. I like it very much. Anyways, another match that should be really good at WrestleMania, possibly steal the card, be one of those definite spectacles. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. These are two guys that are ready to go off. Speaking about guys who are ready to go off, Paul Heyman is still waiting for Roman Reigns backstage. Roman is pissed, and he's about to go off. He's about to go off on Paul Heyman. They haven't spoken. That's how mad he is. They just haven't had words. So that's it. Not even talking to him. Not even talking to the man. That means you are absolutely pissed. When you're done talking with somebody, you are done. All right. Randy, have you seen Stephanie's Places yet?
No, not yet. That's the one I have missed so far.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out either. I feel like it's definitely branded to a different market. I feel like we're trying to do some cross branding here with Stephanie's Places, which is cool. But she did cosplay as Rhea Ripley and do her entrance with her, which was also cool as well. Anyways, who knows what's next? What's next? She's gonna have Kurt Angle. Oh no, Kurt Angle.
No, it was Stone Cold in the ATV. No, in that promo.
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is. And she said she's maybe going to chug some beer, but I was going to make a joke that it's going to be Kurt Angle. Maybe she can chug some milk.
Yeah.
And here we are. I was just trying to get it out.
I thought you were legitimately asking me a question. Sorry, I apologize for cutting you off then, sir.
It's okay. It's all right. Stephanie's Places. Another reason why we don't watch it here in Canada is I think it's only streaming on ESPN Plus.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. YouTube. Go to YouTube immediately. We need YouTubes. Everything should be on YouTube at this point.
That's it.
You know what else is playing everywhere at this point, Randy? It's Jey Uso's music, and it's time for a yeet down. And that includes a pause for a secondary yeet down. It's just yeeting all over the place as Jey has mounted the announce table right in the faces of Michael Cole and Pat McAfee while doing so in the process. takes off his glasses. He's definitely got a little bit of tears in his eyes. As soon as I saw that, I was like, come on, Jay. We got to get there. We got to get to night one WrestleMania. I feel like Jay is already doing his like celebratory tears for this match, Randy. What do you think? I feel like this guy has already been told what the finish is, and he just can't hide his excitement and happiness about it. What do you think?
Well, his mom was in the audience. You never know. It might have been his mom. His mom hasn't been to a lot of his shows as of late. It was a tear in his eye talking about his brother, bloody brother. So I'll give it to his mom because wrestling is real, right? So emotion. There's a lot of emotion in this build up here. And Jay's been yeeting all over the place.
He's yeeted, yeah, left to right, man. He is yeeted into everyone's heart and soul.
Yeah, like a chicken jockey.
Just like a chicken jockey. Oh my God. Chicken jockey thing is absolutely insane. I don't plan on seeing the Minecraft movie, but apparently it is this generation's Rocky Horror Picture Show when it comes to being at the theaters.
Has to be one.
Yeah, my mom said that people were dancing and singing at Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, and that's why they used. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've been to it. I've been to it, and they actually on every Halloween they have in Toronto. Oh, what's that old theater called? You know the theater I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, where people all dress up and there's like some drag queens there and stuff too. Yeah, it sounds like a great time. Yeah. Sounds like a great time.
Sounds like a Tuesday.
Just a random Tuesday. But you know what else? So Randy said lots of emotions going into this match, and Jay is crashing out. Like all the kids say. Ask your son what it means if you don't know what it means. But yeah, he's crashing out, folks. And that's it. He's going to whoop Gunther on Saturday, hit his goddamn music, yeeting. That is the shortest little yeet time frame that Jay's ever gotten for a yeet promo. What do you think? 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeet finish?
Yeet finish. Very unnecessary for me. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know why this was here. Why didn't you just come out with Gunther? Like, why did they separate this? Yeah, it was very, very short. Very, very unnecessary. The show seemed longer tonight, so I don't know why even putting this in made any sense, but I guess you have to see him before going into WrestleMania.
I think the point that you made that is the best is that his mom was in the audience, and they probably gave him this moment, right?
Maybe.
Anyways, Wingstop highlight package of the night here is Penta beating Dominic Mysterio last week. Wingstop, if you're listening, you don't have to sponsor us. Just send us like 12 wings a week and we're good. We're good. Powered by Wingstop, right? Our fingers are powered by finger power and Wingstop. Yeah. We want it to be that way.
Finger blasters.
Finger blast our way to the next match. Why don't we? But before we do so, Kathy Kelly is here with Bron. Not talking about finger blasting, folks, but talking about the biggest title defense of his career. Randy, is there a chance that Bron walks away with his title here with all the odds stacked against him? 2 Judgment Day members, 1 super over luchador. Is it even a possibility?
Well, I don't know if I can really answer this fully, but you can hear us answer it on the Hub, the Sports Entertainment Network prediction show for WrestleMania in a couple of days. But I will honestly give you, I'm not going to give you my prediction on who wins, but I will honestly tell you, I agree with you. I don't think he will, Eric B.
There you go. I like it. I like it. But you know what we're going to get? Another warm-up match here leading into Mania. It's Penta versus Finn Balor in a one-on-one throwdown here. Besides Finithy Balor and Penta. Yeah, this is a match. It's a fun match. It's a fun match. Penta is wearing his black and white gear. He's retired that baby blue gear instantly. I don't know why. That gear is great. Absolutely.
I think it was for the city.
Oh, okay. All right. The Sacramento Black and Reds?
Don't be an ass. Everything's basketball to you, right? Everything's basket. It's whatever. You know,
yeah, it's true. It definitely is.
It was a fucking lacrosse team. What the fuck, man? Sorry about
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I am definitely got like a one-track mind where it comes to sports and team colors and like city colors. If anything is in Boston that's not green, it's just absolutely crazy to me. But this match is not crazy. this match is fun. Penta's here. He's still working his way up. There was a video that came out of Penta and Joaquin Wilde on Main Event recently, where they're showing some of Penta's in-ring rust still. Randy, I feel like, and I'm not saying anything bad here, but I feel like week by week with Penta, as the luster is worn off, and we're seeing more of the zero miedo little fist bumps come into the ring and all that stuff. Are we seeing some kinks in the armor here for a long-term push for Penta?
Oh, you're finally listening to me there. Hey, yeah, you're seeing the adjustment to the style. The too much of the zero miro when you're in the middle of a sequence or about to you just give the guy death and you stop for a zero miro for about 30 seconds to continue death. This is stupid, right? I hated him in Lucha Underground, by the way, but yeah, I like it. I like the look. Don't get me wrong. I definitely like the look. I like the entrance. But yeah, you are seeing the transition from, I'm not calling it luchador stuff completely. It's like a super indie transition to a WWE transition, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. No,
people are going to hate me. Hate me, comment below, whatever it may be. I don't really give a poop what you guys think. But yeah, hate me.
No, anyways, listen, I think that all of your points are very valid and make a lot of sense here. This match, we're seeing some of the highlights from the greatest hits of Pentagon, the backstabber, the highlights of the greatest hit of Finn Balor, the sling blade, the missile drop kick, everything is there. All the fun stuff that we could possibly have. But
you called that out last week.
What?
You said sling blade versus sling blade, and that's what we saw tonight. You did call it.
Yeah, it's sling blade versus sling blade, and luckily that reverse sling blade thing has been retired. I hope. I'm hoping for everyone's sake it's been retired. Superplexes here in the match, everything that you could possibly have. Very luchador style match actually between these two gentlemen. Talking about things that you have to have in the match. It's the Judgment Day. They're going to be here. It's Carlito and Dom, and Finn almost wins on a roll up. Almost. Another roll up. I don't know if we can have any more roll ups in tonight's show if it's possible, but it is definitely possible. They're here to cause the distraction. Distraction definitely happens. Finn is getting ready to go up to the top rope, but here comes Bron Breakker to counter it and run as fast as he possibly can. Carlito is deciding he does not want to be absolutely torn alive by a spear again this week. He just barely survived the head-on collision that he hit last week. So he doesn't get hit by that spear. But anyways, Braun ends up clotheslining Finn Balor in this. Here's a disqualification. We knew this one was probably going to end in a disqualification heading into the four-way between these two gentlemen. And you got to keep everybody looking strong, and you got to keep Judgment Day looking like they're on the same page.
100%. Penta with another legit loss in the books, I guess you can say, realistically. But in turn, I loved how they used WWE used the fan footage, and I did like this was even elite level resolution of the Bron Breakker to Carlito spear. I love the promo on this. They must have sped it up like 1.2 or something, but man, it was fun to watch again. But yeah, Carlito smartened up. Definitely to me, this was the match of the night. No, it wasn't the match of the night, but no.
Seeing that spear from 8 different angles as well is crazy. Yeah. Seeing it from the fan angles that have emerged, because you think to yourself for a second, has this been sped up? Are like we filming things a certain way to make it look like he's going as fast as he is? It hasn't. He's just a blur. He's the Flash and Superman mixed into one on that spear. It's just absolutely crazy.
No offense, somebody's gonna get hurt then. If that is not sped up, somebody is like Carlito, Speed. I show Speed or whatever. They should definitely be dead. So
we've seen smaller men break ribs with spears, jumping spears.
Right.
And somehow Braun has come to the point where he is flying at guys full speed ahead and he hasn't broken some ribs yet. Yeah,
100%.
I don't know. I feel like some ribs are definitely bound to be broken eventually. It has to happen. Has to happen. But yeah, we'll talk about more about the WrestleMania portion of this match as we do our pre-show coming up this week.
On what?
WrestleMania on Sunday night's main event.
Where can they find it?
You can find it here on the hub, baby.
Sports Entertainment.
Grab your bananas.
Yes.
Grab your bananas. Grab your roast beef and listen to the boys break down some WrestleMania. But all right, let's go forward here with WWE RAW. Braun takes out Dom and Carlito with the spear. Penta's knee is what he runs into next. Penta runs Braun to the floor, blah, blah, blah. We're going to Mania, folks. It is what it is. Okay. Io Sky is here and she's talking. Why did I have this poor girl talking? No, I'm just joking. Io Sky is here doing a package here for the match. But yeah, Io in ring is a lot better than Io is on the mic promo, so that's for sure. But what can you expect?
100%.
We did a quick breakdown, and I don't mean quick at all because it's like a 10-minute breakdown of the WrestleMania cards for night 1 and night 2. And as you're seeing it all being broke down, you're like, wow, night 2, like big flashing lights. And then night 1 is like the introduction night. WrestleMania pre-show party.
That's it.
I don't want to put down anybody on that card, but yeah, on paper right now, night 2 just looks substantially better. Night 1, however, there's some matches there that definitely have the chance to steal the show. And we'll see what
100%.
happens.
That's to steal the weekend too, yes.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. CM Punk is sitting down in the back, and if anything we get from the show, we get CM Punk saying to Paul Heyman, "Look in my eyes, what do you see?" And Paul Heyman responding, "A cult of personality." So if we get anything from this show, we got that moment. We also got the arrival of Roman Reigns, with Paul Heyman trying to chase him down like an ex-girlfriend. "Roman, please talk to me. I love you still." But yeah, Tribal Chief is here, folks, and we're ready to go. Is he going to spice things up? I hope so. I hope so. Randy and me are watching 2 completely different shows at this point. I don't know. I was just completely slowed down getting into this. I know I was exhausted from the day that I had, but as we were leading into said main event of, Roman Reigns being here to discuss what's going on with Paul Heyman kind of following behind Roman Reigns like a hurt puppy dog was hilarious, in my opinion.
Yes.
He won't talk to him, but he's coming to the ring with him and getting into said ring with him, with Roman not even really addressing him. But Roman's going to address what's on everybody's mind is, how can you be on my side and be on his side as well? And Roman makes a really good point about the favor, being like, the thing about favors is I thought that you were supposed to repay them yourself, Mr. Paul Heyman. Randy, lots of favors being doled out here by Mr. Paul Heyman. And I have to agree with Roman on this one. He's using what he has to his advantage to pay off his favors. And what he has to his advantage is the one true chief.
Wait, what's Paul's Heyman nickname? He is the wise man. What is Roman Reigns called this gentleman for the majority of his partnership with him? The wise man. Where do you go ask your advice if you're somebody? What, you go to the court jester? No, you go to the wise man. Where do your trust and advice lie? From your wise man. Now, Roman, and I can say it to you, I'm not scared of you at all. It's not, you're hearing me out anyways. But favors. It's not flavors, it's favors. He is your wise man and he does those favors. So to ask him these things, or questioning his loyalty to him is wrong. Continue, Eric.
That favor's been done by by Paul Heyman for Roman Reigns, and not a spectacle has been made about it.
Right.
Hell yes, of course it has been done. It has been done. And that's why Seth Rollins is going to make his way to the ring. The fans are going to get to sing for a little while. And Seth is just going to point out as well, another point that's blatantly obvious is that Seth is the man who's there to clean up the dirty work when guys like Roman Reigns are just showing up, once a month, collect their paycheck, get in their match, and walk away, take their ball, and go home, so to speak. Seth Rollins ain't having it. And listen, he could have put Paul Heyman into the hospital last week if he chose to, but he chose not to. So a favor is owed to him, but he doesn't expect that scumbag Paul Heyman to repay. Man, I don't know what it is about the word scumbag, Randy. I feel like you can call people a lot of things, but as soon as that word SB is dropped out, I say SB because of how heavy I feel it is. Whew, no recovery. No recovery at all.
Wow. So weird trigger word. Definitely don't use it as you're safe. But yeah, well, I guess. Yes.
Well, I mean, it's not only a trigger word for me, it's obviously a trigger word for Roman Reigns as well, as he is going to attack Seth Rollins. He's going to get down with it, get down on it, get down on it. Anyways, listen, Paul is here to acknowledge his tribal chief, but Roman ain't having it, man. You're just not going to get back with me so easily. Also, shout out to the fan during the promo who has a sign up that says they will leave their husband for Roman Reigns. It's a sign that's right in between Paul Heyman's head and Roman Reigns' head, and it's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But I agree. I agree with that statement. I can see why people would feel that way. I can definitely see why people would feel that way. Just like I could see how CM Punk is pissed off about seeing his best friend being shoved down in front of his eyes, and he's going to come out to try to save Paul Heyman. But little does he know, while doing so, he is leaving himself open to the tribal chief as well. Tribal chief is still there in the ring, man. He's going to hit a spear on CM Punk. OMG. Then Rollins gets back into the ring. Stomp of destruction for Punk and Reigns. Heyman is the one that's standing. Heyman is completely in disbelief. Seth Rollins is the one who is standing tall here at the end of the show. And the fans sing him off. Wow. The one thing that this segment accomplished for me, a little bit weird in my opinion, but the one thing that the segment accomplished for me is it makes all three opponents, not only were they credible leading into Mania, but now they're more credible having kind of a shout out on each episode, I guess you can say. CM Punk had his closing off looking tall. Roman Reigns has had his closing off standing tall. And now Seth's going to get one. So everybody looks equal going into Mania. But where does Paul Heyman stand?
Agreed. No, 100%. Well, very well said, Eric B. But yeah, where's Paul Heyman stand? Where does he align? Like, can you really align with Roman right now? Can you? The only logical person is CM Punk. But where is Seth Rollins in all this mix? Who's going to win this match? I have no clue. If anything, this is the hardest pick. Is probably this pick for the weekend. But you're right. Rollins looked good throughout this, hitting the chair, having the chair in his hand, everything, hitting Roman, bringing back flashbacks of the Shield. So, yeah, no, good promo at the end. It was really, really weird to have this promo at the end. And Paul Heyman looking scared, confused, bewildered. And not a place where a wise man normally is. Unless Roman's not there, you know what I mean? And just he goes out and somebody comes out and sees him. Then he always looks like a scared little bee. But
This is true. But definitely a good way to close off the show heading into WrestleMania. I felt like the show itself was underwhelming. I think that we're going to save Randy's in this corner for when we do the prediction show. But Randy, what do you think the banana rating here is for tonight's episode?
I give it 3 bananas. 3 bananas. Not as strong as it should be. Not the strongest show going into WrestleMania. The builds, I'm not going to... a lot of people are putting down this build going into WrestleMania and saying how it's so weak and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to do it that way. It's different, right? It's absolutely different. The show on paper compared to other WrestleManias, yeah, maybe a little lackluster, a little weaker in total for a 2-night WrestleMania. And I get that. But in turn, it is a different era. It's a different time, and they're trying to do, and they strategize. They've did analytics. They've done test market, like everything on to give the best product that they're going to present on this weekend. So I'm looking forward to it. Even like I said, from the Naomi to the Bianca being the least, the Bianca being the least pumped going into this, but like with El Grande Americano, El Gigante American, right, going into this, being one of the more over things of the weekend, it's definitely different, and I'm excited. Like, it's WrestleMania week, Eric B, and I'm excited for this. So guys, love the wrestling that's going on, and love what's the storylines that are going on. There's going to be some stuff that we're going to anticipate and that we're going to be happy with, but I guarantee you we're going to have surprises. But yourself, Eric B, sorry for being so long-winded on that.
No, it's good. I think that if anything, this is a WrestleMania that's going to go under a lot of scrutiny before anything even happens, and that has a lot to do with the money that's being pumped into the product. The cost of enjoying as well, not for us on Netflix, but the cost of going to the show is astronomically higher than it's ever been for anybody before for tickets. So for that reason alone, I think that fans have a good reason to be able to say they want more, especially if you're paying, say, $5,000 for those ticket packages for the weekend. I think that that's definitely justified. But I think it's going to be a good show, and we're definitely going to break it all down on the prediction show on the returning Sunday night's main event. But until then, folks, thank you so much for listening to me and Randy as we ramble on about roast beef, bananas, and a little bit of wrestling from, time and again. But if people wanted to go ahead and say, follow us on YouTube, we would love that. Go ahead and drop us a follow, a like, a subscribe. Randy, if people wanted to go ahead and message you and say, hey, Randy, what's up? Where can I send you cool AWA figures? Where can they do that?
Yes, go to the YouTube's at youtube.com/@drawstrawsraw. We're at 30. I don't know. We gained another 100 and some odd. We're pretty good. We're over 500,000 downloads. It's ridiculous. So good job. Thank you all to there. Just comment there. We had a lot of comments on last week's show. We will definitely get into fan feedback starting next week, the Raw after WrestleMania. So yes, thank you very much again. Twitter at Huge Pop Radio currently, and then just follow us. Follow Eric. Give him messages. Eric is the man. He is the man with the plan. He is not Plan B. He is Eric B. And he is the light and the guide of this show. If it wasn't for him, there would be no me. So yeah, where can they find you, buddy?
They can go ahead and shoot me a DM. Not Charlotte Flair though. Please, for the love of God, just shoot me a DM on like the Instagrams or the Facebooks, or just go to the hub. Go to the hub and follow us, and you can always see me liking things. Message me there, and I'll tell you where to send Randy gifts. So until the next time, folks, first of all, again, thank you so much for listening to us. But until you hear us again, take care of yourselves and each other, and continue to live your lives impactfully.
Live, laugh, and love wrestling. It's WrestleMania week, baby. Sweet Caroline. You thought I forgot?
Deuces! Deuces!
I'm Chiquita Banana, and I've come to say bananas have to ripen in a certain way, and when they're flecked with brown and have a golden hue, bananas taste the best and are the best for you. You can put them in a salad. No, not yet, my dear. That greenish way you're looking means that you are ripe for cooking.
How about me?
No, no. When you are fully ripe, my dear, those little flecks of brown appear.
Me?
You're most digestible, my friend. Delicious, too, from end to end. You can put them in a pie, any way you want to eat them. It's impossible to beat them. But bananas like the climate of the very, very tropical equator. So you should never put bananas in the refrigerator. Bananas are a solid food that doctors now include in baby's diet. And since they are so good for baby, I think we all should try it. Oh! See.